So I said I wouldn't deliver to Minneapolis. Well, I'm delivering to Minneapolis. Hopefully you guys get to see this vlog. So, after I made a video saying we should get the fuck out of cities, I literally am just getting city after city. They sent me to Chicago. I got in and out of there. It wasn't too bad. There was gunshots, I heard. But, they weren't shooting at me, so I was alright. And, then they tried to give me a load of Detroit. I turned that down. Thankfully, the timing was fucked up, so I could turn that down. Then they give me this other load near It's in a suburb, it looks like, of Minneapolis, so maybe it's okay. But it does route me pretty much through their highway system there. And so there's a chance that I could encounter a protest. But I'm trying to do everything in my power to minimize that. Like, I'm literally just gonna roll in. It's 7 in the morning when probably everybody was up protesting the night before, rioting, or whatever it is they're doing there that's fucked up. And hopefully I can just avoid all of that by going in early in the morning and hopefully getting unloaded and out of there by the afternoon, when probably a lot of the protesters and rioters and criminals are sleeping. Because from what I can tell, if you call 911 in Minneapolis, you're probably not going to get a good response time based on some of the local news I've watched. But I guess I get to see with my own eyes just how bad it is versus what the media tells me. And I'm finding more and more that we need to do that. So the media tells the story they want to tell, and they aren't even telling the story about a lot of the protests and riots anymore. They're telling more about COVID right now because they want to get us back in compliance. We got to wear our masks. We got to stay away from each other. We got to stay home as much as possible. We got to not open the mom and pop businesses so that Amazon and Walmart can fucking rule the world. So I'm a little bit weary of going into... Actually, I'm a lot weary of going into Minneapolis because it's one of the worst ones. They were easily competing with, it's where it all started, obviously, and they were easily competing with, Seattle is the worst fucking city in terms of keeping everybody safe. I'm all for protests, but keep us safe. Those of us that don't really have any stake in this, if you want me to deliver the shit to your city, I would like to feel safe doing so. But I guess I'm gonna find out. And I'm taking precautions. I'm zip tying my glad hands. I'm, trying to skirt around the downtown area as much as possible, and basically just gonna be on my guard as much as possible. And if I see anything that is fucked up, I'm out. And I told my dispatcher already. I'm like, look, the moment something smells fucked up, this load's getting out of there. And she was all behind me on that. So, this load isn't worth my life, so if I'm not going to put myself in danger. I'm going to try and get it there, but I'm going to try and avoid the problems. It doesn't mean I'm going to feel safe. Doesn't mean I'm going to have a warm fuzzy about it. It's not the first time I've been in a dangerous area in the truck. There's definitely been some sketchy time. I've even had a shooting right outside my truck, like because I had parked at a gas station next to a nightclub. And at the end of the night, people were shooting. At the time, I had a girlfriend on the truck with me. I took her to the floor, covered her up while the shooting was going on. Thankfully, no bullets hit my truck. It was just a mild disagreement that happened. This was in South Carolina, I believe, in the club that I was parked near. And there was a fucking drunk dude passed out on the sidewalk in front of my truck. I mean, it was a really bad area. I'm surprised I didn't die. But, you know, it was a different time also. We weren't as fucked up as we are now, in my opinion. So it was probably a safer situation. You know, I find when you're in a bad area, if you're not part of the problem, you tend to get overlooked or ignored, you know, if you don't insert yourself in any situations and if you don't advertise that you got shit, you know, which I never do. But, you know, well, aside from showing you guys here on YouTube. But as far as when I pull over or whatnot, you can't tell I got shit in here. You know, you cover everything. You take care of security, you know, and I have some self-defense tools in here, but push comes to shove, guns and Molotov cocktails are going to win. So the only things I got are some melee weapons and being able to drive the truck, you know, to get out of there. Those are my defenses at this time. But hopefully everything just goes smooth and I'm just overreacting based on the fucking stupid media. But one way or another, we're going to find out, and I decided to make this video to share the experience. Right now I'm still in Illinois. Looks like I'm going to go through Wisconsin and head on up into Minnesota and get in there, deliver my shit early in the morning, and then get the hell out of there until I get my next load, and we'll see how this goes. But you know, I did all right in Chicago, and Chicago wasn't as bad as they'd have you believe. Yes, I did hear some gunshots, but you know, like I said, it's like any other bad, you know, I live in a fairly bad neighborhood in Syracuse too, so you know, as long as you stay out of it, mind your business, most of the time people won't fuck with you. You know, it's only when you insert yourself in shit that you put yourself in harm's way in bad neighborhoods. That being said, who knows with the way things are going and how crazy we've been acting. But I think I'll be all right. You know, it doesn't look like I'm going right into the thick of things. You know, a lot of the really bad rioting happened in the downtown area of Minneapolis. But crime is definitely up. I was watching the local news, and police response is down. And just a few weeks ago, they were still having National Guard responses. I don't know, but we'll see. It might be nothing. It might literally be nothing. And I'm hoping that like there was like a 3 square block radius of stupidity, and that the rest of Minneapolis, St. Paul is peaceful and normal. Because I don't know. It's hard to tell with the way the fucking media is. You can't tell shit because the media likes to fucking lie and fucking be stupid. And I'm tired of the media's shit. The media has made things way worse than they had to be, in my opinion. All right, let's get going and see how we do. I'm up bright and early. It's 3:30 in the morning because I decided to start rolling at 4. Try and beat any morning rush if they still have that in Minneapolis. Probably gonna zip tie my glad hands and head on out. But first, coffee and shit. You know, if I hadn't watched the news, I'd say this is a pretty fucking normal place so far. Of course, I just got into town. And I'm pretty early in the morning, so. But even like this early in the morning, it's pretty ghost town like right now. Like there's not a lot of cars on the road. I'm not sure what the lockdown rules are here either. It's supposed to show, don't believe everything you see in the media. Like, I don't even see any signs that any shit's gone down. You know, I've been across highways that had spray paint and graffiti all over them from protests blocking them. But I'm not seeing anything here. Yeah, it's just another normal fucking day. Granted, it's Saturday morning, but might not be as bad as the media has led me to believe. Why am I not surprised by that? I'm not saying there ain't no shit that went down here, mind you. I'm just saying, you know, don't be scared necessarily because one part of town had some bad shit happen. Doesn't mean the whole fucking planet's falling apart. Doesn't mean the sky's falling. That's the lesson I'm learning out here, both with the virus and with the civil unrest. No big plumes of smoke on the horizon. I'd say we're all right here. Fucking media, I tell you. I feel so dumb right now that I fell for it. Didn't die. It's always good when you go to a city and you don't die. Some observations. I saw absolutely no indications of unrest whatsoever. You know, while I'm not saying it doesn't exist here in Minneapolis, I will say that it is probably a very small area. I did see no cops. I have not seen a cop yet. So, and I was looking. I was like, you know, it'd be nice if I knew they were doing their fucking job. But for the most part, I didn't see any cops. I also didn't see very many cars on the road. And granted, it's early in the morning. It was like 6:30 in the morning passing through, which was the plan, you know, to come through at a time when maybe not everybody's up and moving yet. And, you know, but I think I might have been a little fearful for nothing at this point. So I'll still bring you your shit, Minneapolis. I won't. But, you know, Seattle, fuck you. But Minneapolis, all right. You know, it's crazy because I've consumed a lot of media on the unrest and a lot on the, you know, the whole situation, and I'm really starting to realize, being out here and seeing things with my own eyes, that it's really just a small portion of the population that is upset, that is destroying things, that is doing these crimes. And because the media is so hyper-focused on these individuals, they're essentially giving them the power to put fear in all of us, to cause us to change the way we behave, or the things we say and do, or the things we put up with, for that matter. If you take that out of the equation to where you kind of just see with your own eyes, talk to people, you know, instead of just going off of what you see on media and social media, that you're probably going to have a different perspective on things. So I'm not as fearful of Minneapolis as I was since I've been here. Now, granted, I'm not sticking around for the full fucking experience here. I'm not going downtown doing tourist shit. I'm not pushing my luck. But at the same time, I'll probably just avoid downtown in these unrest areas and come in during an hour that it will minimize the chance of exposure to, protests or anything, just to minimize my chances of encountering problems. I wouldn't spend the night here. I'm not quite comfortable to spend the night here in Minneapolis in my truck, just because I don't know the status of the law enforcement. If I call the cops, are they going to come? If I need to call the cops. And according to the media, no, not so much. From local news, their crime rate has about doubled since last year, this time frame. So it's just like any other bad city. There's good cities and bad cities. They've always been good cities and bad cities. But right now, this Minneapolis, according to the crime rate, just qualifies as a bad city for crime. But it ain't any different than Chicago or New York City in that respect. These are all cities that have high crime rates. But, or Syracuse, where I'm from. That's fucking been crazy crime rates there. And the cops aren't standing down in Syracuse. So, this has given me perspective, and I need to really evaluate my media consumption, I think, going forward. And the same thing with the pandemic. If they're making me feel this way and manipulating me in terms of fear on that, and now all of a sudden we're back to pandemic fear, unfounded pandemic fear, mind you, that, I'll start believing shit when I see it with my own eyes. I'm done taking the media's word for it, whether it's the left media or the right media or any other media. And there's some YouTubers that I think needed to stop, get out of their fucking, and I'm saying this with all love as a fellow YouTuber. Sometimes we tend to live in our little bubble and just fucking get up and look at the computer all day and then make videos about it. Get out there, especially you commentators who are just reading fucking mainstream media news articles. Tim Pool, for example, just reading fucking news articles and getting all worked up about them. Do you understand that that's what those news articles are designed to do? To manipulate you one way or another? And, you can have some biases and pick and choose, but at the end of the day, they want you to click. And you're not going to click if they say, oh, well, all looks good in Minneapolis. We don't hear about it anymore. We move on to the next negative thing and the next negative thing. And a lot of these negative things that the media throws in your face on a daily basis that pisses you off, stirs fear, gives you all kinds of issues, anxiety, all of that really just kind of makes you have this horrible look on life, are sometimes small microcosms that happen in various places that have very little bearing on your life. If they tore down a statue in your hometown and you're upset about it, do something about it. There's not much you're going to do about it if they are doing it in another city or another state. It's on the responsibility of those residents to either support or condemn that activity and to take care of their city and state. And then it's up to you and whether or not you choose to live in those city and states based on their performance. It's your tax money at the end of the day is paying for the shit. And if they aren't doing their job, like taking care of your public safety, taking care of your infrastructure, then you don't need to pay your fucking taxes to them anymore. Move. It's time to vote. But not vote in the ballot box, because that doesn't seem to be working anymore. Vote with your feet. Vote with your money. Vote with your time and effort and your energy. And, go to a place that you feel safe. Go to a place that has good jobs for you. Go to a place that has a lower cost of living. Why pay 2-3 grand to live in a shit city that fucking treats you like a child. You know, that's just me. Maybe you want to be treated like a child. Well, in that case, you're going to have to pay a lot more, aren't you? Not me. I don't like being told what to do, which is pretty evident throughout my fucking YouTube career here. So I have voted with my feet. I'm traveling. I spend my money in places that I think are safe and that are good, that I have an enjoyable time in. And places that are fucking train wrecks, I don't spend a dime. I just come in. I haven't spent any money in Minnesota. And I'm not going to spend any money here in Minneapolis. Nope. I got everything I need on the truck. I'm just here to drop off some shit and move right along. And these mayors and governors who don't seem to want to do their job and take care of their communities have to realize that that's going to affect you economically. And I know, because I'm a truck driver. I know how fucked up freight is. I know when shit's gone wrong. And you know what I've been hauling the past week? Groceries. I haven't hauled any consumer goods whatsoever. It's all been groceries. That tells me people aren't buying shit. People aren't traveling as much. You know, look at your industries. You think people are lining up to come here? I didn't want to come here and they made me. You know, I could have said no, and I did put my foot down in the terms of I'm not going here at night. I'm just coming in here in the morning, delivering my shit. Would I come in here at night? Why fucking push my luck? You know, I don't know all the facts. I just know what I can see with my own eyes, and I can tell you, as a fact, going into Minneapolis at 6:30 in the morning, you're probably going to be okay. Just my thoughts. You know, if I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about it. But start judging with what you see with your own eyes, your own fucking, you know, observations, your own interactions, instead of letting the media and social media manipulate you. And that's all they're there to do. That's all social media is designed to do, is to manipulate you. They have algorithms that determine whose shit you get to see and whose shit you don't get to see. If you don't think that's manipulation, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. You know, same thing with media. They want to manipulate you. They have political agendas, they have corporate agendas, and they want to make money off of you. And they don't make money when you're happy and having a good life. They make money when you're scared and you're locked up in your house and you're worried about viruses and unrest and you're worried about all the bad things that police do and you're worried about everything. And that is how the media makes money. They don't make money if you're happy. You know, if you went to the beach and spent time with family and friends and you weren't wearing your mask and you were just having a good life. You know, and they're really pushing right now to get us back on lockdown, to get us back in our masks, to get us under control again. And I'm not going to fall for that shit. Unfortunately, some states are, you know, but what can you do? I know some of you don't agree with me on this shit, but my stance is not changing, even with the uptick in new cases. But you know, one of the things that this has taught me, getting out here again, it has taught me to start judging what I see for myself and not what media and social media tells me is the case. Because 9 times out of 10, they're full of shit and they're trying to manipulate you. Thoughts and shit. So, this is the first sign of something fucked up. Can't see it yet. But, looks like there's a fire over there somewhere. Doesn't look like anything to do with the metropolitan area or anything. That's the only smoke I've seen. It's probably just somebody burning some fucking trees in their yard or some shit. I'm pretty much out of the area, I think, at this point. So, I don't think that that's like riot fire. Look at all those RVs. It's too expensive. Too expensive to be a van lifer with an RV. I gotta say, the rest areas in this state kind of suck. Maybe they don't suck. It's a fucking playground and shit. It's probably got barbed wire fence around it. I'm sure they're not camping, because that would be illegal. Let's go to find a good place to vlog. That looks like a nice, peaceful area to sit. Surprisingly open, too. Final observations of Minneapolis. There was a lot of shit for sale. Like a lot of commercial real estate with for sale signs on it. And like, we're talking reminiscent of back in 2008 when, you know, the housing crisis happened. It looked like that only for commercial. So, and there was remarkably not a lot of traffic considering the size of the city. So, sorry. Trying to not be self-conscious about vlogging. It's hard being a YouTuber sometimes. But, you know, I what this whole thing is kind of making me realize is I've allowed media and social media to influence me a little too much, and it's kind of thrown me out of balance, I think, with reality. And I think what I need to do is use my fasting experience for media, is in doing a media fast literally every week. And I think that'll lower, you know, I'm pretty smooth as it is with the keto, but I think that'll lower my outrage level and generally my fear level when it comes to these cities that everyone's reporting to be like. I expected to pull into motherfucker and it to be like Beirut. But it just seemed like a normal fucking day. Nobody there seemed different or upset. You know, nobody was really doing anything other than living their life that I encountered. Now, granted, it was early in the morning. I know. Go there at night, motherfucker. Yeah, I know. But if you think about any major city, it's just common sense. If you go fuck around at night, you're more likely to encounter crime. In terms of people just minding their business, I think that's the majority of people that I've, you know, in pretty much every city I've been to, every state I've been to, throughout the pandemic, throughout all of the unrest and all the bullshit, it seems like a lot of the drama is online, and there's not a lot of drama out here. Like, I've never had anybody tell me out here to put my mask on, other than maybe Costco. You know, I've had no negative social interactions out here as far as people telling me what to do or people telling me what to think or how to live or any of that. Like, people are just out here living their lives. And I think I've allowed the media to cloud that, to make me forget that, they're just essentially shining a spotlight on the worst parts of us and not allowing us to see the good. And if you're bombarded with that, and I feel like I've been bombarded with that constantly, every time I turn on my YouTube feed, it seems that it's kind of manipulated me. Like, I've been manipulated. And I want that to stop. So, I will allow myself to consume mainstream news or mainstream media once a week. I think Mondays suck anyway. So on Mondays, I'll catch up with what's going on. The exception being if I need to roll into a city that I already know has fucked up, I will check out their local news to see what kind of stories they're running. Because if there's not a lot of bad shit happening, they're not going to be running. They'll be running their average local news bullshit, And that's what I saw when I looked at, I did see some of the unrest videos from a few weeks ago, and they were disturbing. But if you look at the recent news, it was more, I don't know, like, I heard a cough literally behind me. Somebody's got the COVID. When you look at the current local news there, it wasn't, just normal stories. A little bit about the bullshit and the protests and the cops and all of that. But for the most part, if something really bad was happening, I would think there'd be news about it. So, starting now, Monday is media day. And then every other day, as far as my viewing habits, I won't be clicking mainstream media or the commentators on YouTube that I follow who basically regurgitate that shit to outrage me and to get my clicks. Could change that if we get more positive shit, but in the interim, I'll be watching van life shit, I'll be watching nomad shit, I'll be watching music tutorials, I'll be working on my music. And that's what I'm gonna fucking do from now on. The media fast. That's what I'm gonna call it. Fasting. I mean, you got financial fasting where you don't spend any money for specific lengths of time. You got intermittent fasting where you don't eat. Well, this is media fasting. And we'll start with just 1 week and see if I can get by 1 week without running into problems because I don't keep up with current events. Then maybe I'll extend it to 2 weeks. Maybe I'll extend it to once a month. I'll catch up on the news. It doesn't mean I won't hear about shit. People comment about things. People send me links to shit. People talk about shit on Facebook. But I'm not going to go out and spend time watching this stuff, If I see somebody posting all kinds of news and bullshit in my social feed, I'll just snooze them until such time that I'm ready to do that I'm ready to consume. As far as my YouTube feed, just gonna not click. No matter how good the clickbait is, you could have naked chicks bouncing up and down wearing MAGA hats or some shit, and I probably won't click on it. So, I need to do this more often, just kind of chill at a rest area. There's so many of them. What the fuck do I know anyway? I'm not an expert. I'm just an asshole. Be safe out there. Don't take my word for it. But don't take the media's word for it either, because they'll fuck you up. They will. They're fucking us up. So, and who knows? What will this? Maybe this will make me a shit content creator because I'm not gonna be up on the latest things to make fun of, the latest hypocrisies that we do. I want my channel to be more of a vlog than anything else at this point. You know, obviously I'm doing keto. I'm doing fine on keto, by the way. You know, eating my ribeyes, living my life. Once the 6 weeks of keto are up, I'll do my intermittent fasting. I might start with just ADF, maybe 36 ADF. And then just to get rid of some of the extra fat I picked up, if I haven't already. Get control of my health again and get control of my life. Tired of all these extra things out there trying to manipulate me. I'm tired of being told what to do or what not to do or who to be mad at and who not to be mad at, or that I should be ashamed of who I am or what I am or any. I don't want to be ashamed of anything. You know, if I say something that offends people, they can just fuck off. It's really that simple. Don't listen to me. Don't watch me. It's, you know, quit sitting there being outraged all the time. And I need to learn to do the same, to be honest with you, because I've been outraged a little bit at what's been going on. And I think if we all fasted from the media periodically, maybe all of this shit will just blow over and we'll get back to normal. Whatever the fuck that is anymore. But who knows? I love when I'm vlogging and being stared at. Literally stared at. Like dude standing outside his car staring at me. It's great. But if you like my shit, want me to make more shit, please like and subscribe. You know, smash that like button. If you dislike it, fucking dislike it. It's okay. There's usually 8 or 9 of you that do. Head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and sign up for my free email list. I will be sending out little things on what's going on there periodically. Haven't done it in a few days, but you know, been busy. I'm still going to continue the live streams and the live premieres on YouTube because I'm enjoying that. I like hanging out and chatting with you guys. When I post a video, it kind of is it's a nice little thing to have you guys react to it, answer questions in real time, talk to you, and keep up with your lives as well as mine. I mean, we've got a nice community we've had for the past 5 years. Honestly, my community on YouTube's been positive, and I hope it stays that way. Once in a while I get somebody that pisses me off in the comments and I'm just like, fuck you. You know, and then, but overall it's been positive experience on YouTube, and I'm thankful because I see a lot of other YouTubers with very toxic comment sections, whereas it seems like you guys kind of get along with each other, you talk to each other, and we're all just kind of in this together, you know. But I'm going to continue to share. My next destination from Minnesota is North Dakota, which is the one state I've never been trucking in. I've never been to. In the lower 48, that's the last state. So I'm actually hitting a new milestone today and going into North Dakota to pick up a load. I didn't even know they made shit in North Dakota. Things we learn. And I know absolutely nothing about North Dakota. Like, going into it, I know that there's some military base up there. I know they do some fucking oil shit, or I don't know, some kind of shit. Other than that, I know nothing about North Dakota. So I don't know if they got lockdowns. I don't know if they're open. I don't know anything. I don't even know how populated it is. I don't know if there's any good parks. I don't know shit about North Dakota. It's kind of refreshing. I feel like I'm exploring new territory today, which is pretty awesome. So, but that's it for this video. Have a nice... Surprise, motherfucker. Sorry, it's my new ringtone. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. Quit watching that fucking shit and fucking media. Them and Cuomo can go fuck themselves.